In this worksheet, I have the same list of instructors, their department, their number of classes. We're still recommending that all instructors teach 4 classes. And what we want to do in this cell is determine any of the IT instructors that are teaching more than 4. That's the only department we're concerned about. So it doesn't matter if business is over, it doesn't matter if adult education is over, it only matters if the IT instructor has more than 4 classes. So what we want to do is we want to start an if function and we want to nest in an and function. I begin by clicking logical and then I select if. In this box right here, I would type in my logical test and my value if true and my value if false. However, since I know I have an and statement down here, if the instructor has been assigned more than 4 classes and if the instructor teaches in the IT department, this is the spot that I would nest in the and function. I could take a moment and type in what I want my true to be or what my false would be. So in this spot, value if true, if both conditions are met, I need it to say over in IT department. And if it's false, I just want it to remain blank, so I'm going to put the double quotes in there. And up here in the logical test area, I'm going to click, and then I'm going to come over here to this name box, and I'm going to select the and, but I don't see the and here. So what I have to do is click more functions, and I have and listed here, but if it wasn't listed here, I could search for it. But here's and I'm going to click OK. So this is where I type in my logical statements. So the first one is C4 equal to, and I would type in quotes IT, and logical test 2 is this value greater than this value down here? And I have to make that absolute since I'm going to be copying this down. And then I would simply click OK. Now that would finish the formula, and I do want to point out what the formula looks like up here. And while I'm doing that, I also want to point out that if I hadn't typed in my true and my false, I could click right here where it says if. It would take me back into the if statement portion, and this would allow me to type in my true and false. So it's okay to go back and forth. Now I'm going to go ahead and click OK. So as you can see when you look at this, the first part is looking to see if C4 has the words IT in it, and then it looks to see if D4 right here is greater than cell C21, and then this section is where the true false is, and since one of these conditions is not true, the cell is blank. I'm going to go ahead and autofill that down, and as you can see, this instructor is teaching more than 4 classes, and this instructor is teaching more than 4 classes. I've deleted the if function with the nested and now I'm going to demonstrate how to type it in. So I'm going to enter an equal if left parenthesis, then I'm going to nest in the and function. So I type in and left parenthesis, and as you can see it switched to the and logical 1, logical 2, and this is where I could start typing in my logical arguments. So for logical 1, it needs to be if this cell D4 is greater than this cell right here, C21, and I'm going to make that absolute. That's the first argument. The second argument, logical 2, is if the instructor teaches in the IT department. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this cell, and I'm going to type equal in quotes. I'll type IT, and then I close that with my right parenthesis, and notice that as soon as I typed in that right parenthesis to close the and statement, it jumped back over to the if statement here. And so it's asking me for the value if true. So the value if true is going to say in quotes, I'm going to type comma, and then in quotes over in IT department, quote, and then comma, and for the value if false, it's going to be the the double quotes, and then I will end with a right parenthesis and enter. So when you're nesting in an AND function, you would type the equal if left parenthesis, type the AND function left parenthesis, type in your logical arguments, go back to the if function, type in your true false statements, and close it off with the right parenthesis. And that's all there is to it.